All right. Hello, everybody. Today's a big one. We're going to be going over the mechanical only. We're not doing electronics and stuff on this one either. Of the LTVSIM Airbus throttle quadrant. I have all the documents printed out because I can't remember everything off the top of my head. This is a pretty complex, design, obviously, and a pretty complex 3D print. So, what I did for mine, I'll show you guys, is I printed mine and I used some old paint containers to put my left pieces and my right pieces in, and even my the random stuff for the middle, which I'll show you. This one's kind of flimsy, but see all this other stuff, which I've already done some things just for testing myself. I've already, sunk the heat inserts and anything that needs it, but I will go over that and how to do it. And I think I need to retouch up. Sorry if you can see my head, I keep bending around. But I also did it in the middle panel as well. I put the heat inserts in here too. But I will go over that a little bit because I need to touch up my my right side ones. Because see, on this left side, it just takes the nylon lock nut with some M3 screws, and on this right side, I'll bend down and grab it. It takes these heat inserts. Well, when I was trying to pull these screws out to get this apart so I could show you guys the whole process, I pulled this out a little bit. So I'm going to heat it up again while we're on camera. And you can see it's flush here. But I'm going to heat it up a little bit and get it shoved in a little bit more. Hopefully it holds better in the plastic, and I'll show you all that. And I've already got my 626Z bearings in because I did super glue these in my first time doing it. I wouldn't suggest that, so I actually am reprinting these for my own model because I don't want those super glued in, and I'll show you why you don't want to super glue them. Because, whoops, hold on. I'm trying to keep everything organized. Because on this side, this doesn't spin. This doesn't spin freely in there. It's kind of hard to see, but I should be able to spin that. This one does spin. I had to break it to get it to spin, but it's not great. And you can see all the super glue all the way around. This was not a good job by me. So, but where it's good enough for today, just to show you guys how to do all this stuff. So, we're going to go through how to put these levers together. Excuse me. And the whole process behind all of this. So let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to grab everything I need. So we need the lever. We'll need the arch. The reverse arm. The sides to the reverser arm. So one side with the nuts that holds the nylon lock nuts. And one side for the screws to secure into. That's not needed right now. Whoops, sorry y'all, I'm making a lot of noise. Apologize. I'm trying to just go through, make sure I have everything just for this piece. Everything looks good. Okay. So as you can see, I've got a ton of hardware and stuff up here. There's a lot going on with this and with putting this together. So, if we follow his directions exactly, you're going to put this bearing in. We're not worried about the two-piece one. If you had to print it in two pieces, I understand. Just make sure you follow his directions. They're fairly simple. You just want to make sure that these screws are all pretty flush with the base. So, like he says, you don't want it sticking up on one side. You want it flush all the way around. So, what he means by that is when you have the screws in... Whoops, sorry, wrong side. When you have the screws in, you see how that just sits? I'm sorry, I hope you can see it. See how it just sits very flush with that? That's what you want, even for if you're building the two-piece part to put it together. That's what you want. You want it nice and flush together. Because if you have stuff poking out too far, which you'll see with some of this stuff, Let me grab my container. I forgot a piece. For like this giant, this long bolt that we need to hold these rubber washers. They're big, you know, but it's his design says to use it, so we will. Let me make sure I grab all my hardware out of here for this. I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need 2 of those because those go up here. They just sit in there. They don't have to be glued in or anything, because if you ever have to take it apart, you want to be able to take this stuff out. And where is my... Sorry, y'all. I have everything out here. I just, you know, trying to keep track of everything sometimes is a pain in the butt. I believe these are it. Because you have to get these screws just right. Yeah, these are the Phillips screws. So those are for that. Shouldn't need anything else out of this container, but if I do, it's where I need it. Alright, so let's go ahead and start building this. So the first thing he says to do, which yes, I am going to be referencing these the whole time because this is a very complex thing. So, the thing he says to do, we're starting on the left side. You need to start with it looking like this at you. So the pointed part goes out the back. So, it goes like this. It goes screw side right here, which it is the smaller screw on here. Or, I'm sorry. Jeez Louise, y'all. It's the bigger screw. It's the M5 screw that goes in the body. So you need to make sure both sides match that, which you can tell this one's got the smaller nut versus the bigger one. And also in his, in his drawing as well, it does say M5 flathead with a self-lock nut. So, for that, I will need one of these M5s, which I'll push it through. Push it all the way through. That one sticks out. Hold on one second. It should be a 24. Let me see what this one is. Oh, hold on. Where's my guide? Oh, this one's actually shorter than a 24. It's a 22. So where's my... Oh, they should have nylon nuts on them. Hold on, y'all. I apologize. Like I told y'all, there's so much hardware for this. Trying to keep track of all of it can be difficult, especially when it slides around in these paint trays. So I apologize if this isn't super professional. Nope. Okay, let me double check. Let's see what all we have up here. I've got, like I said, I've got a mishmash of stuff. There's so much that you need. These are all M5s. This is a, whoa, bigger than a 30. So we don't need that one. That's a 22, 22, 22, 22, 22s. See, there's a lot of them. Because not everything I have is 100% matching his, because it's hard to find like a 24 millimeter. I have 25s. That one's an 18. You set that in a separate spot. 22. That one's a giant one. We're not going to worry about it. 22. And 22. So let me see. What is this one? This is an M4. No, that's an M418. So I'll set that over here so it's not in the way. These shouldn't be it because they all have nylon nuts on them. Plus, I don't have washers on them. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I'll be right back. Okay. So I grabbed some Nylon nuts. Those are M5s. Oh, and I'll explain that to you. So why I'm calling them Nylon nuts is here in the end, they have this nylon circle in there, and when you grip that with the screw, it won't back out. Well, very unlikely. Let me see. This is in the 25. I wonder if these are registering as 22s. Yeah. Okay. So why it's saying it's a 25? I guess all the way at the top it is. Okay. So my bad, y'all. Those are what this Joe Mang. Oops, sorry. Joe Mang considers a what they consider a 25. Which the good thing is it's shorter than a 25, which is better. Because as long as it fits all the way across. Sorry, my head. Alright, so we will use this. So we'll put this in here. This is apparently a 25, even though it comes out as 22. But it is still a little long on this end, but that's okay. So what we'll do is we'll take, whoa, and there it went. We'll take our Nylon nut, and we'll set it in there. We'll just hold it in with our finger, and we'll try to start this with our hand if we can. Because you want to kind of, you got to be gentle. Again, this is like all the other stuff we've built. This is just plastic. So now I've got it started. See, once it touches that, I can't do it by hand anymore. But we'll keep it pushed in. Take our screw, or our T-handle Allen, which is a 3mm, and we'll screw it in. We'll get it snug. Alright, let's see. Can we move it? See, that's too tight. Way too tight now. So what we'll do, we'll just take this, and we'll back it out just a little bit at just a little bit at a time. See, now we can free move it. It's kind of what you want. You want it to just be able to freely move, but you can see that this won't back itself out. It can't because of that nylon in there. So now that that's together, we'll take this piece, which is our reverse handle. Well, at least that's what he calls it, the reverse handle. So we'll take that, put that in there, and this is attached with this. This is a M5, I believe, by 30. I'll show you. I'll tell you guys here in a second. It's actually longer. I think it's a 40. Yeah, so it's a 30 plus. We'll get our ruler out just so we can show you guys. Whoops, sorry. I got other stuff I don't need for this video in here. Sorry. So we'll bump it up to the top. Yep, right at 40. So it's an M5 by 40. I know it's a little shy, but it's because this, for some reason, that ruler is not perfect. But it's an engineer's ruler, but it ain't cut perfect at the end. So it is an M5 by 40. And we'll take it. Whoops, no we won't. Hold on now. So what we're going to do for this, so he shows the nut on this side, so I will go from the other side. So for me, what I do is I take a washer, which he does show this on there, but it's kind of hard to see the other side. So you take a washer, take your rubber washer from the BOM. Remember, all this stuff is in his BOM, his bill of materials. And then you take another washer and put it on, because see, the washers don't affect this unless you were to like squeeze the crap out of it and get them squished down really bad, or squished out really bad. So you'll put that in there just like that. Washer on one side, rubber washer. Take this, put it in in the middle hole. And we're gonna go opposite way from what he shows in the picture. Oop. You might have to screw in just a little bit just to get it. There we go, to feed through just like that. But once it's in, it's in. We'll take our other washer, shiny side or rounded side down, because we don't want to mess up our plastic. Push the other rubber washer on, put the flat side against the rubber washer, and then put our 5mm, if I can get it, there we go, nylon nut on here. And for this, you're going to need two different tools. So for me, I'm going to need an 8mm wrench and an 8mm, this is a hand socket wrench to hold this together. And again, we're not tightening this like crazy. We're just really, get out of here, fly. Sorry. We're just really getting it snug in that nylon. Because the more you tighten this, the more this will flare out the rubber washers, and it can squeeze this too much. Again, we want this to be able to move. It doesn't need to move this way, obviously. It's going to just go up and down. But you see, if you tighten it too much, it'll flare these washers out, which does provide more tension when you're moving, because that's where your tension's coming from, inside the walls, which here I'll actually show you, just so you can see. Yeah, it's going to go like this. So they sit in here like this, and that's what provides your tension back and forth in here. And then obviously, whoops, when you're here, oh, see that? See how that's hitting? It's hitting the wall right here, which you can see it better up here. It's hitting the wall right there. So I'm going to have to cut that down, which I'll use my Dremel. Jeez, excuse me, sorry. To do that, and I'll actually take you guys over there, I guess, and we'll try to get it done. But see, it's going to sit in there, and then when you lift up for the reverse, then it's going to allow you to go in here. Now, this is really hard to do like this because these, you know, it's rubber on plastic. But the lubricant that he's suggesting to use is this, powdered graphite lubricant. So I'm going to try it. I've never used it before. I actually did some research and stuff on it before buying it and, you know, making sure how to use it. But as you can see, I am building this exactly how he shows. So the bolts come out this side. Even though this is long, this doesn't matter because this sits in the walls. So these are okay to be long. But see, pieces like this need to be flush with the plastic. So I actually need to cut a little bit off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely take it out because we don't want it sitting in the plastic. Because if you mess up, you're going to shred that plastic. Now you got to go print another part. So one thing I could have done, or one thing I should have done, sorry, which I'll show you that here in a second, because I'm going to need to cut 2 of these down at least. Which actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do all our measurements real quick, and I'll show you what I mean. So what I'll do is I'll stick this in here and see how much that's sticking up. It's probably going to need to be cut a couple millimeters, which is fine. I could technically cut it all the way down to here because as long as it grabs that nylon, which is in this nut, whoops, sorry, which I'll show you when it goes in there, how far down. See how far down that sits? So I could actually cut it down to like right here. So as low as that nylon sits. So let me, somehow I pushed up and it started screwing in. So we'll see, whoops, wrong side, how much we need to cut. Ooh, technically it's showing about 5, which if that's true, let me get an M5 by 20. And we might not use the 24 like he suggests. We might use these 20s. So let's see. Let's learn this together. Oop, wrong side. No, right side. That sits in there good. Let's actually try it real quick. Let's see what happens when we try to screw this in. See if we catch any of that nylon without squeezing. Ah, it started to squeeze already. See, it started to squeeze. And we haven't, I think if we caught any, we caught barely any. So, we are going to go ahead and go cut this down. If you can find like proper size screws, like a 22 or a 23, fantastic. If not, here we go. We're going to start making stuff. So we will take one of these and we're going to go cut it down. And now I need to check my other side, which is going to be this, which is an M4. And we need to see, nope, the M4 catches more than enough, which this is an M4. I would have to, it's a 20, because that's what they're going to call a 20, even though it's all the way at the end, then it's a 20 technically. It's like an 18. But let's double check. Let's make darn sure that this is going to be what we need. Where's my M4 nylock nuts? I might not have any out here all of a sudden. Okay, let me check in my container. Actually, I'm sorry, I probably do. I do. It's in my container. That's why I tried to put everything in there. Okay, let's screw this one together with a 2.5 and make sure that we're catching the nylon without bending this. Nope, it's already started to bend before we can catch the nylon. So we're going to need a longer one than this, and we're going to have to cut it down as well, because you want these to catch the nylon, or else it's not going to work properly. So let's put this one in, and we'll see how far up it is. Yep, it's up pretty far as well. So again, we're going to cut both of these probably down to the same amount, which I think again was like cutting about 5 off. We probably won't cut exactly 5 off. Probably cut about 4 or 3 off the end, just so we not, we're not overdoing it. So let me take 4 of these, or 2 of each, over to the bench, and we'll get these cut. These I think are already good, which we'll double check these as well, because everything up here needs to be flush. Yeah, see, that doesn't even come out the top. So that one's good. We'll double check this one just for fun. That one's good as well. So I'll take you guys over there. I'll see if I can get my phone set up somewhere. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you guys something cool. That's a pretty good trick I've learned a long time ago. So when you're going to go cut these, one thing you can do is take you some painter's tape. It's not going to help with, like, if you were to mess up or something, but what it's going to help with is marking exactly where you want to cut. So that way you know, like, oh crap, if I go over the blue, that's not what I want. So you just kind of use it to create just a little guide for yourself. Take your little painter's tape, measure out. So that's about 4 from the top of the tape, or 3.5-ish from the top of the tape. So we'll just take it, get it as straight as you can. Just go a little over, so we know we're cutting this. We're hopefully not going to go over that. Oh, that one didn't want to. There we go. Caught a little bit better. Yeah, it's a little over 3. Okay. So that's fine. Make sure we do the same for these M4s as well. Again, just kind of measure. I'm doing about 3. I've kind of nailed that every time here. Doing about 3 on these. For this one, I'll turn it a little. I'll turn it sideways so I don't have to rip more tape off. Again, it's not an exact science necessarily for this. That one's about 4. It'll be okay though. So I'm gonna take these over there. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna take y'all with me because I realize I don't have a spot to put the camera. But I'll keep it going. So I'm gonna take these over to my other bench, which has my Dremel tool. What we're gonna do is we're gonna Dremel these babies, Dremel the tips off. So we're gonna get it locked in the vice grip. Not too crazy because we're not trying to, hopefully not trying to smash the end of it. I know there are like plastic jaws and stuff that you could get, which would be good, or wood even, which would be good to put in between there. I do not have that currently. Let's see, I need a cutoff wheel. And again, if you're doing this with a Dremel or any tool, please, please, please be careful. Wear safety goggles. This is not a joke. You can hurt your eyes with this. You can do all kinds of stuff that's not good. So for mine comes with a little plastic shield. It doesn't necessarily go over the Dremel bit like I would like it to. It's not long enough. They should have really put a longer one in here, but it does what I need it to do to help deflect some of it. But I am also gonna wear safety goggles, which I'm about to grab here in a second. As soon as I get this tool in. And I'll put my blade on real quick. So Dremel came out with a really cool system now, which has what's called the Easy Lock system, which can work great when it wants to, but hold on, I gotta... Oh, I went too far down with my bit in the Dremel. So we're gonna try this again. There we go. Make sure it locks in. There we go. Alright, get this plugged in. And then I'm gonna put some safety goggles on because I don't want to risk my eyeballs. Here they are. So if this gets loud, I apologize. I might just edit this out, but we'll see. Alright, there's one. And be careful when you undo these out of the vice grip. Move them over and get them out of the way, because they will absolutely burn your hand. Let me do this next one. Let me double check it. Yeah, it looks good. I'll double check again as well when I get over there with the nut to make sure everything's going to go on smoothly. If not, I'll use a thread tool kit, which I'll show you that here in a second if I need to. Nope. And while you're doing this, don't push on your Dremel hard or if at all, because you really want the Dremel blade to do it itself. Because the last thing you want to do is push this through and it shatters the blade and hits you somewhere. That little bit you might hear at the end after I cut, I know it's hard to tell, guys, I apologize, but I'm trying to take a little bit of the blade and kind of smooth or round out the bottom, which I know is not good to do with the blade. I'm not doing it hard, I'm just very gently doing it to knock the burrs off, and if I need to, I can also take some sandpaper discs and do it as well. Whoa. Oops. Here we go. Let them cool off now. Whew, they are hot. Go ahead and pull my tape off. See what we're looking like at the ends. Ooh, maybe. There we go. Yeah, this one actually doesn't look bad. Should be able to get it threaded on. You start taking the tape off these other ones. Which actually, I'm sorry, let me come over there and do this. Let me take my safety glasses off. Unplug my Dremel. We'll come over here back to the table. Sorry again, guys. I know it stinks not being able to see some things, but that, you know, it's just... We're just cutting the ends of these off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take not the nylon nuts. We're going to take a regular nut. Let's see. Excuse me. I do have a whole kit out here. So I'm going to take some M5 nuts. or an M5 nut and an M4 nut. And what we're going to do, excuse me, is we're going to thread these on, make sure they can catch threads, which sometimes you might have to, there we go, look at that, didn't even have to do anything. So that one's good. What we're also going to do is take this and just put it in here and see how far it goes. Nice. So now it's nice and in there. We don't have to worry about it. Come on out. Excuse me. Woo, excuse me. Sorry. We don't have to worry about it causing interference now. Let's double check the M5s. Whoop. Whoop, there it goes. Jeez Louise. Let me insert this one first before I put a nut on it. Let's see how far it goes. Nice. See that? Look, perfect. So now let's try the nut and make sure this thing actually catches threads. Oop. I quit trying to put my nut on there crooked. Well, that is one thing about cutting these is you do have to be careful. I think this one might have a burr on it causing havoc. Looks like that side should be fine. Oh, I just bent that up with my finger nail. Let's see if that actually did it. Oh, hold on. Well, straight. There we go. Yep, it did. Okay, so I'll show you what I did. So right here at the end, this piece was pushed down, so I just took my fingernail in there and just did that and forced it up, which it actually just looks like it's about to break off, which is fine. We just need it to break the way, there we go, broke it with my fingernail as well. Just broke it out of the way. But now this thread's on and off. Just nice and smooth. Let's check this one. Oh, I need to check my other M4 too that didn't ran away. I think this was the good one, but we're going to double check either way. Oh. Good. Whoa! Set that up there, and then we'll check this one. It was stubborn at first, but sometimes you can, if it doesn't take a lot of force to push the nut on there, you're fine. You just don't want to be like jamming it on there trying to get it to go in, because that means you have problems and you're going to strip your nut out, which if you strip these nylon nuts out on these bolts, it could end up holding on. That's why I'm doing it with just a regular nut. Yep, and that one even threaded on. Oop, got a little stuck. There we go. Was there something in the threads? Oh, there is a little piece of metal. There we go. Cleared it out. And it works. Beautiful. All right, so now we are good to start building this again. So, again, working on the left side. We're going based on his manual on how to build this. But we're doing it together so you guys can actually see how it's supposed to go. Which I'll move that over there. So now that our bolts and stuff aren't sticking out, we'll go ahead and put this back on. So, oops, I have it upside down. I have it the wrong way. So on he's showing to put the bolt in from this side. So where this is pointing to the back, to put it in on this side. And we'll take our nylon nut and put it in here, which is actually going to push our bolt out, which is fine. And we'll take this and just slowly thread it in until it catches, which it did actually right away. Oop. Oh, see, and it already caught the nylon, which is perfect, because we know if we get it in here too tight, make sure we can move it. See how smooth that is? It's nice and smooth. That's what we want. And it's through there, and it's not even protruding up at all. So that is perfect what we want. Perfectly what we want, I mean, on here. We'll do the same thing for the front with the M4. Sorry, here it is, our M4 nylon nut. Take our Allen key, make sure it starts. Yep, and it did. Whoa! It did, and it's catching the nylon, and I can tell that because it's getting a little tight when you start screwing in. Whoops. See, and then I squeezed it in. I didn't want to squeeze it in like that. So we should, yeah, as long as everything can move, it's going to be squeezed in a little bit, which is fine. But you want everything to be able to freely move still. That's what we want. So that's perfect right there. That's how you want it. So it's flush or underneath, which it is. And then these can be fine. These are fine because, again, this is going to sit in here like this. So it's sticking out. It actually needs to happen. Otherwise, it's not going to sit in there. But you see that? Now, it's not interfering like it was before. See, now this is going to be all smooth in there. And it works just fine. So there's that one. And so, also for this, I think we actually might have to take this off. I apologize. But these are the steps to follow because we need to get this on now. Now for this one, it goes like this. Just like this. Not right there, but this is where it goes. Which actually it does go through those holes, I apologize. But I'm just saying, it doesn't attach like this. It goes like this with the nuts facing this side. So opposite of the gear and opposite of the bearing. So we'll see. I don't think you can get this in here. Yep. See? So even though we did all that, now we have to take this off. Because we can't get it together with this in here. So you don't. The good thing is you only have to take off the M5. So you just take it off, make sure it's good, came out, falls apart. So now what we'll do is we'll set this in here, or not in here, but on here. Ugh. We'll set it where it goes, take this piece, put it back in, up through there, and like this. So now we'll set our M5 nut, our bolts back in there. We'll put our nylon nut on here, push it through, make sure it starts, which it did. And then we'll go ahead and screw this back on. Which this is really how this should go. Nope, hold on. Instead of building this and then putting this on, this should go on first and then you build this stuff under. But mechanical wise, you want to make sure you can get this to how I have it, where this is underneath or flush with the plastic, and then this is fine, but it goes like this. The bolt goes this side and the nut goes on the right side. And then make sure that all works smooth. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to line this up with the holes, these two holes right here. Just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect because once you put the screws in, they'll, oops, geez Louise, they'll do their job. So we'll go ahead, put this screw in here, and I'll put the other one in too because they'll kind of hold in there. There we go. And see, these sit flush. And then now we're going to put our M3s in, which again, you're going to push them in, push the screw out. Take you a good screwdriver, get it in there. Get that one snug. Don't want to over tighten it until you get, well, you don't want to tighten it until you get this other one in. And we'll do the same. And then now that they're in, they don't really move a whole lot, but just kind of get it to where the plastic is even. So just like that. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. Which these are actually a little long. I might have to cut these down. Oh, it's because it drew through the plastic some. See, that draws into the plastic some, which I don't really like. And they stick out some, but the sticking out that far should be fine. It shouldn't cause a problem, which actually we're going to find out right now. Let me get the middle wall, and we'll tell if that's going to cause a problem. Yep, it is. Because you see that? See how it's kind of hard to tell, but it's rubbing up there. See where it's rubbing? You don't want that. This has to be smooth in here or else it's not going to work properly. So we're going to take these screws out and go do the same thing to them. We're going to cut probably about 3 or 4 millimeters off of them and get it to where they fit. Yeah, see, he even says you would need to cut the screw using a handsaw to make it 100% flushed with the wall, because he says to use an M3 by 25 flat head screw. Push that back out. So you are going to have issues with it, but that's why we build this together, and that's why we're building it first. I have painted most of the stuff I need to paint because I've already built this. And you'll see when we start putting up like the handle and stuff on. But you need to make sure you do this mechanical stuff first. Get all of your screws where they need to be. Get all of them cut down how they need to be cut. And then when you go to paint stuff, do like I have, like you see, where all of my stuff is, you know, when you take all this mechanical stuff that's not going to get painted off, put it in containers that are left and right. You can label them, you can marker on them, whatever you need to do to make sure you know which side is which. Also, just by going back through, use that to push that nut out. By going back through the guide, you will also see that it'll show you, like, his pictures are pretty good, and you can go back through this video obviously as well, and determine what you need to do. So you saw it was sticking out basically right up there, so let's go ahead and wrap this up, peel that off, and we're going to go back over to the Dremel and cut it off right about there. So for these, again, you're cutting about like 3 millimeters off. So I guess you could find an M3 by 22, which actually he does tell you to order. Let me go grab them real quick and see if those will actually fit instead of having to cut. Hey, let me see, where are they? I think they're right here actually. Oh no, these are the 25s. Hold on, I did order the 22s. I've got so many things for this. Let's see, what's this? And 4x10. Nope. 5x40, which that's for the rubber washers. Let me see. I know I ordered them because they were a pain in the butt to get. And those are that. Oh, nope. That's the self-tapping screws. Nope. Well, I could have swore. Are these it? Yep, M3 by 22s. These won't work though because they're socket head cap screws. So they won't work. But let's see if they would actually even be a good size if you could get the screw. Yeah. Oh, sorry, y'all. I was off camera. Yeah, they fit pretty good. Obviously, they're not going to fit on this end. I mean, he could redesign it to take this, but we're just going to go cut ours. We're not going to sit here and fret over it. You know, I mean, this is, you know, I mean, I know he's selling this product, but it is a gift to the community. I mean, how else are you going to get a 1-to-1 Airbus throttle quadrant for less than $3,000? So, I'm extremely grateful. All right, let me plug my Dremel back in. And we're going to cut both of these down. Put them in the vise. Snug it up. Put my glasses on again. And make sure you're safe. Here we go. Okay, that one's cut. Set it on the side. Let's do this next one. Oh, geez, sorry, y'all. Woo, that burnt my finger really bad. Woo. That's why you gotta be careful. Woo, the tips of that screw getting cut off, they got red hot. Whew. All right. Dadgum, get them down there in that water. All right, let me take my safety glasses off. Come back over here. Which I'll also have to check for the right side too when we start building that one up. To check the screws. You know, if we have to make several trips over there, we have to make several trips over there to get all this stuff done. But once it's done, it's ready to go. Like I said, just keep it all together where it belongs. Keep it with its own stuff. Whew, man, you see how hot that got? Woo! Using that little Dremel cutting wheel, man. I feel like it shouldn't have got that hot, but it's okay. Clean it off. Make sure we don't cut our fingers when we do. Get that little piece of metal off there. Let's see if this threads in. Now these M3s might be a little bit more of a pain just because they're smaller. They're be a little bit more finicky when it comes to cutting them and stuff, which we'll see. We might be able to get this on here. Well, maybe. Let me see. Let me get my needle here. A little needle pick. Make sure we run through here. Oh, I see. Right there at the top. That one was pushed in a little bit. Let's see if that did it for us. Oops. There it goes. Usually once you get it threaded on once or twice, it just builds those grooves back up. So we don't have to worry about it. So that one is good, which we'll actually check. Maybe. Yep. That's in there. Doesn't seem like it's up far enough, but trust me, it'll catch. Once it pulls into the plastic some, it'll catch enough of that nylon nut. Which actually we can go ahead and we'll put this one on. Oops, hold on, I'll put it on backwards. So the nuts have to face this side. So let me do that. Put the nylon nut in there. There it goes. And then we will try to get this to line up. There it is. Maybe. There it is. Then we'll just gently get it to catch. There it goes. See it pulled in there some, which is fine. Yep, and it's catching that nylon just enough. Yeah, it caught it. So that won't come out. But now it's nice and flush. So let's get this one. Again, if you can find like M3 by 22 or 23, screws that are the socket, or not the socket, the, what are these called? Flathead screws, then you will be a lot better off. Use some tape to kind of clean this up. Use the sticky to my advantage. Like I said, these screws got really hot, unfortunately. when I was cutting. I think my cut disc is obviously on its last leg. Let me get this, see if we can get this one going. Maybe. Just keep trying it until it goes. If it goes, I might have to look at it. Oops, that's crooked. Keeps wanting to catch, just won't catch properly. Let's see again. We'll run our nail up here. Yep, it's always up at the top. Because when you cut, you know, you're obviously cutting in between these threads. So they end up getting mushed up. Oh, it almost had it. Sorry, y'all, this video is kind of boring right now. Me trying to get this to thread on here. Let me see. Get this on here. Shoot, we might just have to thread it in there. Hold on, let me look though. Get it cleaned off some. It's got a little. Some of the tape got hot as well, obviously. Whoa. So let's see. This random thread up here might be our problem. It's hard to see, but you can kind of see that little random piece of thread up there. Let's take some sandpaper. Just get rid of it. Kind of smooth it out too. Sorry, y'all. So now let's see if it wants to catch. Yep. Now it'll catch. So just little stuff like that. It's always good to have a little bit of sandpaper laying around. I have a bunch actually laying around, so but it's always good. So we'll put our other M3 nylon or nylock nut in here. Maybe. There we go. Let me get it in there. Yep, and it caught the threads right away, so that's good. Snug it and snug it. Beautiful. And again, it's catching the nylon just enough that those won't back out, and those aren't going anywhere anyways. So now that's good. Let's go ahead and put our reverse lever back in here. So let me go ahead and push it back in. Oops, I have it backwards. It's going to go like this. Once I get that in there, there we go. Put our M5 in. Put the nut in first. Oh, hold on, I grabbed the wrong one, didn't I? That's alright. They're both going in the same thing. Just one's going on a different side. Get this in there. Get it flush. Whoop, went a little too far. I felt it tighten up. Just a little bit. There we go. Nice and smooth movement. And now that's flush. There's nothing hanging out on either side of these either. So that's perfect. That one is built. For now, for as far as we're going to go right now on that. I know there's an M30 screw and stuff that goes in there, but we're going to build the right side now. Make sure I bring everything up. So, nope, that's the wrong one. It should be this one. See, this one's already cut. I did already cut these ones down. I need this piece. I need the reverse sides. Let me see. I'm missing my other small screw. Sorry, y'all. I think I left it in the other room. Ah, I do need that, though. And I need my rubber washers for it. So there's one. Oh, geez Louise, it was sitting right in front of me. There's the other one. That's for this. I know I cut two. Jeez Louise. It'd bite me if it was right in front of me, wouldn't it? But no, that's the M3. It should be that one. Alright. Wrong side. Alright, let me go grab my other small screw. Here it is. Yep. Alright. So I already cut these top ones. But one thing I want to check is these heat inserts aren't sitting as flush as I would like them to be for this right side. So, let me get my soldering iron and go ahead and unscrew it. It's not on. I would have some crazy hands right now if it was on. Let's see, what did I do with the tips? There they are. So I need this and the M3, which is this one. So I take my tip off, put this tip on. And for this, for doing heat inserts, you got to be really careful with your heat. Because you can obviously overheat. Okay, that one is the right one. Just wanted to make sure. And you can really ruin this plastic, and then you got to print the whole part all over again. Let me turn that on. So I'm gonna go down to about 390 area. It's usually pretty good. It's not too hot. There we go. 390. Whoa, sorry. All right. And then for the right side goes like this. Gears facing to the right. And these pieces will go like this as well. So the screw goes into the left side, and then the nut piece, the nut holder, I should say, goes on the right side, just like that. And your big M40 goes the same way as the left one. It'll point where the nut's on the inside and the bolt is on the outside. So once this iron is heated up, which I think it just finished, we're going to be very careful. It is on. I wanted to double check, make sure it's actually really hot. So let me get it on here nice and flat. And what we're going to do is we're going to just let it heat up. Sorry, it might be hard for y'all to see. I'm going to kind of straighten it out. I'm going to push it in just a little bit like that. Make sure it's straight. That looks good. I'm going to do the same with this one. Heat it up a little bit. And you just kind of, you want to let it do it. So like that, boom, boom. So that just pulled itself in. Which you can see now, these are too far in. But that's easy. All we're going to do is we're just going to take a file and file that down. We're going to let this cool off first, though, obviously, because this is the plastic and everything, is still very hot. Which is kind of a good thing, because then you can take it and kind of manipulate a little bit if you need to. Which that's fine. Which those are both fine. Take our screws. Oh, that actually is not long enough. So that might not be the right screws for this. Whoops. Let me see if this one's long enough. It is not. Okay. Turns out I have the wrong screws for this. Where are my correct screws for this piece? No, I know what that's for. That's for this. That's garbage. That's, whoops. That's garbage. Already have that printed. That's for the spring. Ay, ay, ay. I so apologize, guys. Neither one of those work for this. Let me go find my proper screws. Let's see. Sorry, y'all, there is so much stuff going on over here with screws and everything. Trying to put panels together. You know what? They might be in my kit out here. In the middle bin. Whew, excuse me if y'all heard that. Jeez. Did I put any screws in here? I did not. So I must not have had the proper size screws in this at all. Let's see, make sure this is getting cool. Yeah, it is cool to the touch now. Let me see what kind of screws I have. Nope. Man, how in the world do I not have some 4? Those are 3 socket caps. So you got to make sure it's smooth. All right, let me go look again. I know I have these screws somewhere. Okay. I found them. I literally stepped right over them the first few times. So again, these are M3x25s. Those are, I don't remember what these ones, oh, these are as well. I guess apparently I cut them down way too short earlier. Yep, see, and that sticks up too, but I'm going to go ahead and screw this all the way in and see how much we need to cut it. I don't want to pull it in. Man, this is going to need to be cut off a lot. Yeah, about 4.5. You know what we'll do though? I apologize. We should have done this before. We will put this in the on the body and then tighten it up and see exactly where we're at. Which I think we're going to have to file these heat inserts down. Again, facing away from us. Yeah, I can't even get this on with the heat inserts poking out. So this is a very tight fit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our file and we're going to file these heat inserts down gently. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's worth it. This is such a well-designed throttle quadrant. Just keep sanding, double check. I'm going to have to vacuum this up here in a second. blow it off some. That's pretty darn close. Let me work on the other one. Just want to get them nice and smooth and flush with this plastic, which I think that one just nailed it. Alright, yeah, the left one is good. Let me do a little bit more on this right side. You kind of want to hear the plastic just a little bit, you know, because then you know you're like, ah, okay, I'm there. But see, now I can go back and forth. So I am there. Let me take my shop towel over here. Just wipe this off, because you don't want all this excess getting in there. And what we're also going to do is we're going to take our screws, we're going to make sure that these are still able to thread in here. Which for these you might have to do a little forcing to get it in. Yeah, it just didn't even take much. And boom. I'm going to thread it all the way in. And then back out. Whoops. And what we're going to do also, sorry, it's hard to grab that just a little bit. What we're also going to do is we're going to try to put this on the body, or on the, yeah, on the, geez Louise, the throttle lever body. So that's nice and smooth. Actually, you know what, first, I apologize. Let me thread this in. Yeah, that one's good. See a little piece of metal from the heated insert, but it's fine. Now those are smooth, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this. Oh yeah, look at that. Now it's perfect. Now it goes on and off, perfect. Nice and smooth. So what we're going to do now, officially now, is take these over and cut these down. Oh, I apologize. We're going to put this back on, thread it through, and see exactly how much we need to cut down. So let me find the holes. There we go. Yeah, see, and now everything's threading through by hand. Looking beautiful. Nice and snug. Oh, one thing I will say, and I apologize for not mentioning this sooner. Get this snug because I want to know exactly how much I need to cut off. Is for all these holes, you can kind of see where I did it. You need to take a drill bit that's about equal to the size of your screws. If you're in the UK and Europe and stuff, you guys already have the metric 5mm bits. But for in America, what I do is I took the back side of the drill bit and placed it on here and found one that was just about right. And did all that and drilled through just a little bit at a time. You just drill through all the way with one bit. Try the screw. If it doesn't fit, go up one size and do it again until it fits. But don't go crazy. Sorry, don't go crazy doing it, because you will. You can overdo it and screw it up. Okay, that's 4 on the dot. That one's about 4 as well. So I need to make sure. When I take these out, I'll probably do them down about 4.5, 5, to give myself some extra room, because you want these to sit, you want these to sit super flush. Everything has to be flush as far as like these screws go, because these are where they're going to be rubbing in the walls with the plastic and stuff. Which if that, excuse me, if that graphite powder lube works really good, that's where you're going to want to put it, is all on this plastic, on your anything that moves. So that way it's nice and smooth in there. Okay, let me take some tape. I will use a different cutting wheel this time too. I'll see if that makes a difference. But let me get some tape again. Do our little trick. Whoops. I'm going to get my... Actually, might just take some tape and try to tap that up, because that's very fine powder. Alright, let's see what we're looking like. Right about 4. So that's okay. That should, I mean, it shows it'll fit. I want to make sure it's over a little bit though, so I might go into the tape just a tad. This one is about 4 as well. I'm going to go down just a little bit. Okay, it's a little too far. Up just a little. Okay, that one's about 5. So that's right about where we want it. And if it's not, I have plenty of screws. We can keep doing it. Obviously, you don't want to do it too, you know, you don't want to be over there all night cutting screws and screwing up. So that's why I'm using the tape to try to really get my marks down good. Do that, pick up what it can, do it again, pick up what it can. It's just a simple way to clean up like metal shavings and stuff. See that? Picks it up, it ain't gonna drop it. I got the metal shavings, the plastic I'm not too worried about. Alright, I will be right back. Let me go cut these. Again, I'm gonna change my cutting wheel out because I feel like it should have done better, which this thing has been used a little bit, right? And I have another pack too. I made sure I bought extras when I bought this Dremel, because I used to have a battery powered Dremel. Let me tell you something right now, don't ever do that. Battery powered Dremels are great in a pinch, but you really need to have one that plugs in because you'll just have the consistent power all the time. We snug that up. Have our safety glasses on. Yeah, that flew right through that. Oh, turn it off. Undo this. Whoa, don't touch it too long. And then do this second one. All right. That is both of our screws for that side. Coming over right now, we'll check them out. Whoa, they're a little hot. Oh, take my safety glasses off. I take my safety glasses off while I'm over there, so that way they're always there. You don't ever want to, you know, walk off with this stuff. So there we go. Whoop, sorry, almost missed my seat. All right, let's go ahead and take these off. Yeah, I mean, this one I think is the one I went through the tape a little bit because I just wanted to make darn sure I got it cut down enough. Ooh, and it took the screw really, or it took went into the nut right away, which is awesome. It's a little stiff just because of the glue from the tape, but that ain't gonna hurt nothing. Perfect, so that one's good. Let's do this one. Sorry, let me look up the camera. Yeah, okay, we're good. Sorry, y'all. It might be shaky, but I just want to make sure everything's I'm in the frame and stuff, too. I need to get a little monitor and put it up on this wall. If anybody has any recommendations or anything, please let me know. I will also Google some stuff, too. All right, perfect. These actually came out better than the other ones. Alright, oops. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this back on. Remember, the heat inserts face inside. This is the inside of the handle because this is the back of it. You can think of that by the reverse thruster pin movement system as well. Push that in. Push that one in. Oh, my goodness, y'all. My head would jump off if it wasn't attached, right? Ooh, that's perfect. That's what we want. Let's see what this one is. Oh, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Woo! Little victories, right? Look at that. Nice and flush. You can't even see it down the side. That's what I'm... Oh, sorry. Can't even see it down the side. That's what I'm talking about. And those are flush too. So now, we'll build the reverse system. So, again, he likes to build this part first. The middle part first, I should say. Which is just our M5. Sorry, this tape keeps yanking my hairs out. So it's an M5 by 40 hex bolt screw, which I actually cut this one down a little bit because I thought it was rubbing. So put the washer, okay, so bolt, washer, rubber washer, another washer. Let me verify. This goes like this. So this will go like this. Jeez Louise, y'all, like this. So once that's through, put another washer on. Oops, I put it on the wrong way. Put the flat side up, put another rubber washer, which these are faucet washers, I believe is what they're called. They're all in his bill of materials. And then we put this nut on, which I actually might go get... You know what? I apologize. I'm going to go get an actual M4 by 40 or M5 by 40 and replace this one that I cut down. I cut it down because I thought it was rubbing, but I think what it was rubbing was these up here when I initially built this. I didn't realize that I had screwed it up. So let me go get the actual size bolt and we'll find out together. Let me go grab it real quick. I know exactly where it is because I've picked it up like 5 times now. M5 by 40. Just gonna grab one. Perfect. Set those back down. Sorry if you hear me sniffling. These allergies have been wild. I know I've said that every video, but they are. Alright, proper M5 by 40. Not cut. Now we'll do this again. So we'll do the washer, flat side up, rubber wash. I think it was this one. Rubber wash. It doesn't matter. Rubber washer, flat side down. And we will take, whoops, wrong side. We'll take this piece, the nut piece, the nut holder, I mean, sorry. Put it on, put the reverse lever on, and then put the bolt holders on. Flat side up washer, rubber washer or faucet washer, flat side down, nylock M5 nylock nut. We'll put that together, and again you're going to have to hold it with an 8mm wrench. Whoops, hold on, I got it on the wrong way. And an 8mm socket. Oh, let's see. All right, we're in the nylon. So, oh, that's actually got quite a bit though. So let me keep going until they're kind of touching, but not crazy. Keep going. I don't want it to be flimsy. Keep going. There's still a little bit in there. Man, dang, these things are long, aren't they? Right, let's see. Yeah. So what I was talking about play is I don't want it. You know, that's fine, but I put the nut on like there, and I had all that extra thread in there. So this can all still move. It all moves freely. Everything moves good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure the M5 side, which is the bigger hole side, is facing towards the lever, just like this. We're going to take our M5 that we cut down earlier. Remember, that's why we cut 2 of them down. And we have our M4. Oh, hold on, I just opened up the M4, didn't I? Am I getting confused here? Yeah, that's not the cut one. This is the cut one. Goodness. Put it in. Oh, it actually sticks out. So I actually need to cut this one down farther. But this, yeah, I need to cut that down farther. So the right side is different because, and I forgot that, and I apologize. So if you look, see this arm is bigger than this one. So when I put them in, or when I put, come on now, line your butt up. When you put the screws in, they are different. So this actually needs to be cut down quite a bit. Which I think this is where I think the 22 fits. I think that's what this one is. And it sticks out just a smidge, so even it doesn't fit. But I've already started cutting that 25. I'm going to go ahead and cut it the rest of the way. I don't want to keep cutting other size screws. This is my M4. And it's going to be too long as well. Yeah, see, it's like a millimeter or two too long. So, again, we're going to tape these up. And the reason there's a difference on the size of the cuts is because on this one, you can see these are basically the same size. This one's a little bit bigger than this one, but not by much. On this one, though, the inner one is, you know, about 3/4 of the size of this outer one. So it's quite a bit of a difference. So let me double check again. I want to make sure, I want to make sure I get these right. So I'm going to put both of them, put both of them in here. Yeah, so let's double check. So this one I need to cut about, about 2.5 off of to get it to fit. So really I'll probably cut about 3 off of it so it's extra secure. This one only needs about 1, so I'll probably cut 2 off. So we'll go ahead and get our tape again. Get our tape again and get over to cutting some screws. So that's the whole thing of this, or the whole point of this video, guys, is to help you out, you know, show you what how this is supposed to go together, so that way you're not sitting there like, what? I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Because trust me, the first time I built this, I was like, there's no way this makes any sense. It does. Once you get through it the first time. So this one, it's about 3. I don't want it that far down. Just want to move it up just a little bit. Yeah, right there. So I'm going to make sure I secure my tape on the bottom. What I mean by that is I just push this flap down. And we'll go around a little bit more. Whoops. You don't want it to come off. Just like that. Secure it to itself. Secure it to the bottom. And double check your measurements. Especially now that we're kind of fine tuning it. Yeah, it's a little over 2 just because that top one sits up. But that's what we want. And then this one I think was 3. At least. Again, I have all the pieces here. Let's go ahead and just double check. Always, always, always double check before you cut. Yeah, so 3 minimum. I'm probably going to take 4 off. So we'll go ahead and get our tape on here. See where we're at. Oh, nailed it right about 4. So let's go ahead and tape this up. Secure it to the bottom. And just wrap that around. Then we'll double check. Right about 4. All right. Let's go back over. Oh, jeez, Louise, I just hit my left pin. All right, let me go over here. And we will double check. I hope my microphone's not dying. I'll have to probably replace it here in a second. Or we'll go over here and we're going to cut this stuff off. So let me plug my Dremel back in. We've got the first one secured. Put our glasses on. And here we go. Alright, let's get this one out. Let's put our other one in. still good. All right, let's cut this one. Hold on, I'm adjusting it. I'm not with the thing. There we go. All right, let's get this one out. Perfect. Unplug our Dremel. And take our glasses off. All right. Let's come over here and take a look. Hopefully these are right on the money. Sorry, y'all. My mic has a red light on it. I don't know if it's because it's recording or because it's about to die. But we're going to find out here in a second. Oof, that one's got a heck of a burr on it. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that right off. Kind of. Well, it's still on there, but let's see if it causes any problems. Oh, actually, no. Alright. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get a little bit coarser sandpaper, which I think that's what this is. Let's see if we can kind of knock that off. It's kind of going. Jeez Louise. There we go. I cut it off with my flush cutters after sanding it. All right, let's see what we're looking like. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's in there. That's in as far as we need it to go. Whoops. So that one's good. Let's open this one up. See if it'll thread into place. Let's check the top. It's a little funky up there as well. Huh. Let's see how it does. Which one's the M? That's the M5. This is the M4. Oh, alright, well that ain't affecting it either. So, take our flush cutters, kind of come in, kind of cut that off a little bit. Make sure we can thread it off. Yeah, it ain't, yep, perfect. So, we did that just to make sure, or just to clean it up some. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So that one's cut down. Nice. I'm sorry I didn't give you guys any measurements on these. I should have thought about that. Let's see what we're at on here now. Nope. So the final size for this in this tool is about a 16, about an 18. It's not, yeah, it's 19 millimeters basically. Let's see what this one is. This one's going to be the same, about 19 millimeters long. All right, let's go ahead and build this. It goes this way. Put the reverse lever through. Go ahead and put our M5 in, which will put our M5 lock nut in, which will push that back out. Grab my appropriate Allen key. Whoops, there we go. See, I had to back up some just to get it to go in, which is nothing the fault of me cutting it. It's just, oh, there we go. Perfect. And it's in the nylon, and it's not coming out. So that's beautiful. That's exactly what we want. Now I need my M4 nylon nut. I swear it was just sitting here. That's an M5. Let me see, it's probably in my bin. Nope, it's not. Okay. Sorry about my big old head. Jeez Louise. Let me go grab it. Or let me go grab some. What is this? M4 Nylon nut. Okay. Shake one out. Whoa. Alright. Oh, well. His brother wanted to come with him, but we're going to put him back in the bag. Get in the bag. Sheesh, that one did not want to go back in there. Okay. So that's good. So we'll go ahead and put this nut in. Hold it in with our finger. And we will take... Oh, you know what? I need to quit doing that. My bad, y'all. So this holds your spring on for your reverse thrust lever. So for me, what I did was I went to my local hardware store and got it. The spring was a lot longer than this, and I cut it down to where I wanted it, which for this one is about 10 millimeters long, just as far as the coil goes. The whole spring is about 30, 29, 30 long. And so that's what this is for. This front screw and nut holds this on. So let me go ahead and actually put that on. I need to put it on the other one too. So push the nylon nut in. Go ahead and get this threaded on, which it caught right away, which is great. Alright, let me get this threaded in to where it catches. I just wanted to catch the nylon, and then we're good. So that one's good on there. I will actually show you how it all attaches. So it takes this M3 by 30 screw that goes in the front. So this goes in here and it threads in for a while, which mine is hand threading right now because I've already screwed this in, so it caught its old threads. So we'll just go ahead and keep screwing this in. You really don't need, I don't know why it needs such a long screw, I guess just to kind of give it some, well actually I know why now, I know why I'm saying that. So because while it's in here, if it were to get loose or if something were to happen, it has a huge amount of leverage to just kind of hold itself in there to where you don't have to, you know, worry about having a short screw snap off. So let me just get this screwed in. Whoa. I screw this in pretty far for mine because it doesn't need to stick out any, you know, crazy far. You want more of it in the body than anything. You just need to be able to attach your spring to it. So that's good. So we'll bring it down. Let's put the spring on it. So see, but now this gives quite a bit of resistance, which is what I wanted. So this spring is actually like a 0.94 pound, so like a 1 pound spring as far as like the resistance goes, which I think is more than enough. It isn't going to hurt anything because when I put the whole thing on here and move the lever, the reverse lever, it feels great. So now that's built. Let me actually do that. Let me put it back in its bin. And let me actually do that with the other side as well for the left lever. So the M30 and the screw. Or in the spring, I mean, geez Louise. No, that's the right one. Sorry. Let me go ahead and loosen this up. So I can get this screw out. Perfect. Put the spring in. Oh, I think this one goes like this. Yeah, I think that's how I had it. Whoops. Go ahead and screw this back in. Whoa. Whoa. Get this in to where it's catching the nylon, but it's not. Oh, see? That made it to where I can't even move it, so let me undo it. Still can't. Undo it. There we go. Perfect. So now we'll put our 30mm screw in here. Okay, still holding. Go ahead and thread this in. Again, mine's going in by hand because it caught the old threads. Do not expect yours to go in by hand. If it does, you might have some problems with the tolerances on your printer. Hold on, let me just keep doing it by hand. It seemed to be faster. Because this is in the way now. I should have done it before putting this on, but really it doesn't matter. Because as long as you can get this in here, just take an Allen key and kind of twirl it around your finger if you need to. Let me see. Yeah, this side's actually not as bad. Or a round knob Allen key that, you know, is meant for stuff like this to kind of go in at an angle. This is working for me. Because it's not tight, you know, you're not worried about stripping the screw or nothing because you're not, you know, securing it down really, really tight. This is just a loose, not a loose fit, but it's just in the hole in the frame, or of the, yeah, in the frame of the lever. Get in a little bit more, and there we go. So now we'll bring it down, put our spring on there, and again, works good. Boom. So that side's done as well. So now, see, he shows right there. So that's what the spring's for, to provide tension on that. Go ahead and keep going. We've already got this part. See how I did all that before? I have these ready right here. The back sides aren't painted. It doesn't matter. You're not going to see the back side, and there's the top. So those are good. So now we can put the top handles on and show you guys what all that looks like. So we'll start with the left one. So here's my left one. And like I said, some of this is already painted for me. I've already painted it. This is the left one. This is the left one. And this is the left one. And the way you know it's the left is based on this. Where does this curve? To the left. So that's how it'll go, because you'll put your push button in here. Oh my goodness, I just said that wrong, didn't I? This one's to the right, because your push button's going to go on this side. Yep. My goodness, y'all, I apologize. It goes like this. Sheesh. It goes like this. This should be the outside of your lever. My goodness. Just like this. This is how this is going to piece together. Whoops, wrong way. Goodness gracious. Just like this. This is how this pieces together. So the button goes right here. Let me get these started, which this uses 2 of these M4 or M5 by 25s. Oops. Let me get them in here. Which now my holes are a little tight because of the paint, which is fine. Or am I using the wrong screws? No, I'm not. So I might actually have to drill these out a little bit again to get my screws back in there. So let me get my drill, and I'll show you what I'm talking about drilling out these holes. What is this? Driving, and here are the drill bits. So for these, I remember they weren't anything crazy. Yeah, I want to make sure that's not fitting in there, but let's see if it fits in here. Yeah, see, that fits in there, which is what I want, but it won't fit through this hole. So, let me make sure I get these drilled out. And again, you don't need to do anything crazy. We're just going to drill it in. Just like that. Whoops. And we'll do the same up here. We won't do the same on the front. Let me make sure No, that is correct. That is an M25. That is an M5 as well. All right. Now, now we can take our screws and get them in here. Which again, this side is still being stubborn, because that should slide in and out of this side. Let me see if this slides in and out of this side. It does not. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go up on the drill bit, just one size. So just go up a little bit until it fits. It's nice and smooth. We'll leave that bit over there. Just like that. We'll just drill through there. Make sure we drill through here and here. Make sure to try to drill straight. These holes should kind of do it themselves. They should kind of pull the drill straight through. Oh yeah, see that? Now we're going in and out. That's what we want. So now we'll put that on there. Just like that. There's not much coming through because these are going to thread into this piece right here. They're not meant to, you know, be crazy, crazy long, because you don't want them poking out the other side. And just like that. That's nice and snug on there. Get another one. Put it on the front. Or put it through the front. Make sure that's lined up. And start it. Yep, it caught right away. And again, don't do anything crazy with these. I caught my clear coat and pulled it up. That's okay. That's why you don't do this till the end. The painting stuff till the end. Which this clear coat's fine. This, yeah. It's the lacquer. The lacquer I bought I'm not really happy with. So that's on there. That's good. Now for this requires 2 pieces to put this together, as you can see. Oh, and actually, I apologize. I need to put heated inserts in here. These do require heated inserts, which he does show you right here. M3 heated insert, which does go into this part of the body. So this part holds the flush screw, just like this, which I actually have to drill it out because it's nowhere near close enough. So I'll drill it out before I put the heat insert in, but that's actually probably what these are for. No. Which actually, those can actually have a little bit. No, I lied. That needs to be 100% right on the money. And again, you see how these go in here, just like that. So let me get the heated nut in here. Let me drill it out first. Actually, I apologize. And then we will put the heated insert in there, which let me go ahead and turn that on. All right, let's see what size we need. Just hold to the back of it. All right, this is a 7/64 for me. Seems about right. So we'll go ahead and take this bit out. Put this one in. Get it in there. And for this, you might want to just do it like one side at a time. Get it in there like that. And then flip it and do it again. Just because you don't want to try to force through and then you like end up crooked and you've messed it all up. All right, so it's not big enough still. So we'll go up to 1/8 of an inch. So like I said, it's always good, start small and work your way up instead of just going to the big ones first, because you might think, it's fine, and then you've screwed it up. So now we'll check it again. Yep, right on through. Obviously this screw is not the appropriate one. This is way too long. Which I can tell you what size would really be good in here. Would be about a 14. Yeah, 14 or 13 millimeter long screw at most. Which is probably easier said than done. So again, we're going to have to be cutting some screws down, which these are already here. So I'll go ahead and cut these two down to make them work, because this will be for both of them. So let me actually get my other one and get it. Actually, let me just go ahead and get all of these pieces, and I'll get my, cap ends for the levers and get them drilled out as well. Again, we'll make sure goes through fine, and it's not too big either. There's no wiggle room really in there, which is what we want. I'm going to put that in my right bin. Let me see these. These are supposed to hold M4s. No, that's not an M4. My goodness, this is an M4. Oh, okay, so these are fine. So I don't have to put those in. I'll put one in the right, one in the left. This one's still staying. And I will check these and see if these... Nope. So we need to drill these out too. Which were this bit right here. I apologize in the flaps video for anybody that watched it about the mono audio. I figured out the appropriate setting in my editing software now. I had to set it to say that the input was mono, so it would play it in stereo. So I apologize for that. I did re-upload it in stereo, so I will eventually go ahead and drop that, or I'll publish it. So that way everybody has it. Ooh, I just took my mic off. Sorry guys, you're on the floor. Oh, and I lost my magnet. There it is. Hold on, y'all. Alright, before I do this, I'm going to take me a sip of water. Definitely a lot more than a sip, but it was good. Okay. I need my heated inserts. Excuse me, sorry. Let me grab them. Sorry, y'all, I have just a ton of stuff. Those are 3x5s, 3x3s. Let me see, I think those might be what goes in here. Because they are just M3s. But I don't know if these 3x5, these 3x3s are good. Oh! Yeah, they are. Sweet. So that just sits right in there. As you can see, I have a ton of them. Let me go ahead and move these over here without knocking everything over. Alright. My iron is already hot. Again, you need to be really careful with this. Keep it as straight as possible. And just let the heat do its thing. So we're just letting it heat up. Oh, let me set it. Whoop. See? I'm trying to be crazy and show it, but let me just do it. Just let it heat up. And just let it push itself through. Make sure it's flush. See, it melted my paint, but it's going to be in a spot you won't see. And it pushed some plastic out, so I'll have to take the file. But that's flush, so that's beautiful. So I'll take the file Actually, we'll let that cool off a little bit while I do the right side. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the file and clean that up. There it is. Get this plastic out of here. All right. Put this one in. Wrong way. The right way. Hopefully you guys can see this one better. I know it's kind of hard. I apologize. Just let the heat do it. Don't push down really. Well, really, you don't even need to. Okay, that's not in all the way. I know it looks like I'm holding my iron at an angle, but it's because this M3 tip, whoops, doesn't fit the best. Is that in all the way? Now it is. One thing about plastic, when it's heated up, it's very malleable. So I just went ahead and used my nail and kind of pushed it in a little bit more. And now it's nice and flush. One thing we're going to do, like I said, we're going to go ahead and file off this excess plastic in here. And what we'll do is we'll put our screw in there just to make sure it's actually flush and straight. We're getting there. Alright, let me put this screw through this side first, push any of this plastic out of the way. Plus, we need to make sure when we push the plastic out of the way, it doesn't pull our heat insert out, which it didn't, thankfully. Let me use my screwdriver. Alright, so we'll take this and just boop, knock that off. And we'll go through this side, make sure we can actually catch the threads, that I'm not crooked. Nope. We'll screw all the way in because I need to see how much I need to cut. Nice and flush right there. The nut is flush. The heat insert nut is flush, but obviously the screw is not. Oops, wrong way. So we need to cut about 3 off of this. Like basically right at 3. Off of that one. Let's do the same on this side. Which actually this one, might just be able to cut this off. Actually, that worked a lot better. I would suggest doing that. Instead of doing all the filing, just kind of flush cut it off. Then get the screw in. Screw it through, make sure it's not pulling out. Then once that's up, keep your screw in. So you have different techniques. And then cut that off. Get rid of it. Unscrew this all the way. Should have just done it with the screwdriver because that hurt my hand. Alright. And then now, we'll go through this way. Make sure we can catch. And it did. Whoops. And we'll get this screwed all the way in. Not crazy tight. And we will measure to see how much this one needs to cut off. Woo! Basically 5. This one's a lot longer. So right about 5 on that one. So I'm going to tape this one first because it's 5. So I'll grab my tape. Oh, my bad. I don't know why I set it down. Knowing I can't hand undo this. But once it's out, there we go. And then this is the right side one. So, actually, I'll leave it out, though. because once I get the screw cut, I need to make sure it's good. Get us some tape again. The reason I'm using tape and not markers because tape is a lot clearly seen, and also these are black screws, so it's not necessarily 5. It's a little over 5. Okay, that's really good right there. So let me go ahead and screw that around. Hold that down. Yep, right where we want it, 5. What was this one again? 3, basically right at 3. So, go ahead and unscrew this one. The world was that? It's like a dang bug hitting the wall. Well, it probably was. Dang bug hitting the wall. Alright, this one was 3. So we'll put our tape on there. Oh, right about 3. Actually nailed that one. Alright. Make sure we cut it right there. Alright, let's go to... Jeez Louise, I keep hitting those. Let's go over here to our Dremel. We'll go ahead and cut these down. Plug it in. Put our safety glasses on. And we'll get these bad boys cut. Alright, get it nice and snug in there. Alright. That's the first one. That was actually the longer one. I didn't even... Now I grab that one first, and let's do... Where is that one? Alright, now we're doing the shorter one. Alright. Get that out. Whoa! Stuck to my finger. Unplug the Dremel, take our glasses off. Let's go back to the bench. Alright. So we're good. We're about 2 hours in and we're making pretty good progress. And this is just the levers, so that's how long this stuff takes. As you guys can see in real time, I mean, we're doing this. Trying to get it all working and good. Oh, that might be a problem. I might have got that in a bad spot. But let's find out. Nope. It actually threads on just fine. So, as you can see, perfection is not needed because that just threaded on just fine. Let's verify it goes across where we need it to. Catches the heated insert. Oh yeah, it did. Yep. And look at that. Nice and flush all the way across. Actually right at the edge too. So that was a perfect cut on that one. And that is good to go. Which I'll show you that here in a second in the actual throttle lever, but we'll leave those over there. Let's go ahead and unwrap this one. This is for the right side. This one had to get cut down quite a bit. Let's do it with our test nut, which is just a normal M3 nut. Ooh. Hold on. This one's being a little bit more stubborn. Let's see what's going on. It's got a little messed up part right there. Oh, I think right here. Some of these you just really just use your nail. Because they are soft metal. They're not crazy metal. Let's see if we can get it to catch. Might have to use my sandpaper trick and kind of sand that top off. Sometimes you just gotta do it. Working it in circles ain't gonna hurt nothing. Up and down, however you need to do it. Kind of make some headway on there. Get rid of any bad threads. Nope, still messed up. So let me keep going. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of doing. Let's try to see. Sometimes you kind of just gotta nudge them in there a little bit. Don't do anything crazy. I should be able to get this on here though. I don't know if my tap and die set goes down this low. Let's see what else we're missing. Okay, that's there. Okay, I think it was just that. I think it was still this, that was down. Let's see if it wants to catch now. Yup. See, sometimes it's just all it is. There's just this little lip right here that was thinned out that was just catching. Or not, yeah, it was just not wanting to catch right. So now that's good. Let's go ahead and, geez, get off my nose. Look at these freaking gnats and stuff everywhere. Let's see if this goes in. Want to make sure it catches the heat. It did. Catches the heated insert. And it's nice and smooth. It's a little tall. Just a smidge. But I don't think, if you just back it out just a little bit. Yeah, that's good. So that's still good. That's still workable. Sorry, all these dang like gnats or whatever like attacking me. Hold on, let me put that back in there. That's the right side. Throw that down in there. All right, we'll continue working on the left side. So for this, I would suggest, golly, I would suggest starting with this bolt, this lower bolt or screw, and getting it in there first before you try to do it, before you try to do the top one. The reason being is because it is going to be a little bit of a pain to get it in there. As you can see, right there it's lined up, so I need to hurry up. Not necessarily hurry, but get it in there. And get it to catch. Yep, it caught. Perfect. And then get it snug. Not crazy, but snug. Oh, and then we can let go. And then now, make sure it moves, which it does. That's good. So now, and then all you got to do for this is just push up like that. Take your M5. I don't think this is a cut one. It's not. It should just be a normal M5. Well, daggum, you know what I didn't do? I didn't drill out the freaking handle, the reverse lever. Let me check this one. Because I had to reprint these. Yep, I need to drill that out. I had to reprint these to redo them. Now I bet it'll go through. So I forgot to drill it out on that one. Yeah, you want to make sure that's good, which that's actually the wrong size screw too. So that one's good on the right side. Let me go ahead and take this back off. But it just shows you guys, I mean, this is the process. This is what you have to go through to get this to work, because you want to make sure that this thing is functioning smoothly mechanically before you get too into it. Before you get too crazy into it and like painting it and stuff. Like me, I painted mine, but it's because I've already I did fit it before. Obviously, I needed to fit it again, so I apologize. So I shouldn't have painted it. But it's okay. Let's get this lined up again, which it just was. See what I'm saying? It's kind of a pain in the butt to push up a little bit and get it out. Take the screw out. So just like this. I lift it up a little bit to get it in there. There it is. It's off a little bit, but it shouldn't have been a problem. There we go. Once you get it through, that's why I did my tests before putting it in of making sure the screw catches in the in this heat insert, because otherwise it's going to really mess you up. So now we need another long one, another long M5. This is an M5 by 25. I know it's technically a 22 or whatever, but it says it's 25. We're going to push it in. It's going to go right here. It doesn't need to go all the way out because that's what this is for. This heated insert on this piece goes in here. And then you just kind of hand thread it on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Allen key on this side and pull this in. Oh, I think it just pulled my, it did. It just pulled my heated insert out. Dang. Unfortunately, that's a possibility with these plastic pieces. Ooh, and it's too tight. Now that's what I'm talking about. But this is how it works. This is what I'm talking about with the spring. I like to have a nice spring on there so it really pulls it back down. So that's holding in there. It's not correct. That's my fault. I will I have two more of these, so I'll put some heated inserts in, but you can see it kind of malformed that because these are such thin walls. It's hard to get these heated inserts in there without really messing up the walls too much. But my heated inserts I think are also wrong because they're the wrong length. These are M5 by 5s and I need M5 by 4s. Let me see. I have some other ones in here. Let's see what these are. These are going to be M5, probably by 5s or something as well. Yeah, these are a lot bigger. These definitely aren't going to be the right ones. So make sure you get the appropriate ones. Shoot, these are actually M5 by 6s. So I'll have to order the right ones of the M5 by 4s and try to get those in this week before I do my other ones, because I don't want to ruin these. But that's how the lever will go together as far as all that goes. So that fits nice and good. Everything looks good. Ignore this. That's just the clear coat, the lacquer. So that works good. It should snap back just like that. So that's good. That lever's done. Let me finish up the right one just real quick since we're working on these. Go ahead and grab everything I need for it, and then we'll start working on the walls as well. So this video is going to be long, but there's a lot going on with it. Excuse me, let me move my file out of the way. Alright, which this one we've already tested. We already have it in there. So for this, we'll go ahead and get these on. Which these use these long M5 screws. Just like this. Get them started. Let it catch the wall. Because remember, these can't be too long, or else they will they'll punch through the wall on this side. So you don't want that to happen. It's not a good day. Get this one in. Yeah, that's the correct one. Go ahead and get this in. That one's good. That one's good. Which there's supposed to be another one up here. I don't think I put it in up here, did I? No, I didn't. See, I even missed one up here. Should be. I don't know if it's a super long one or if it's just one of these short ones. See if I can even get it in there. Oh, it is a little crooked. Huh, hold on. I'm gonna have to loosen my screws on that one. Let me double check this side. Yeah, I think this one just uses just a really short M5 screw. We'll just screw this in. And this secures the entire throttle handle to the lever. Get it in there. Nice. So that's all together now. Now we'll take our throttle lever, which I need to take the screw out. Sheesh, keep grabbing everything up here, but that's what I need. All right. Go ahead and get this out. Perfect. And then we'll take this, lift it up again, push this on there, which is actually going the other way now, but that's okay. We can at least see in there. Just kidding. We'll flip it over this way and hold it. Baby. There it goes. Just had to get it in the hole properly. We'll get this one snug. Nice and snug. And it fits in there good. Alright, so now we'll take, I don't have the right one. I need to grab my M5 screws. M5 by 25. We'll push it in through the top. Whoa! Gotta hold this up there. Get it pushed in through the top. Now you also need to hold it up, which I think is what my problem was the last time with trying this, was I didn't hold it up to allow this to fit where it belongs. So let me hold it up on this side, get it to hopefully catch this screw. Well, maybe not, jeez. Let me see, I have it held up still. Get this to catch it all. Is it not long enough? What's going on here? Should be plenty long enough. I think it just pulled that one out too. It did. Yeah. So I'll have to get, like I said, I'll have to get the right ones. But that's okay. That's part of this process, part of learning. It's too tight. Let's go ahead and loosen it up some. And now that one's good. So that'll just hold that in there for now. So that'll hold it together. Perfect. Beautiful. That's the right lever done. All right, so now that is the levers. See, it's supposed to use an that's an M5 flathead, which is fine. But this piece right here, which wasn't there, where does he show it? Right here. Oh, it's a 3mm, sorry, M5 insert nut. So I need to get it a 3mm M5 nut. So I definitely need to make sure I grab that. So that's it for the levers. Now we're going to work on the detent, what's called the detent system, which is a really clever way of doing it. And so we'll go ahead and grab those out. We'll start with the left one. You need the left frame, which is this one. It's the bigger one. It's one of the ways you'll know. You need springs, which I'll show you what I did to make my spring system work, how it should. You need two, what are these, M3 by 22 millimeters. That's what we special ordered those for. And you need, obviously, two M3 lock nuts. Where is my other one? There it is over here. You need an M5 lock nut, an M5 screw, button head screw, and then a 625 ZZ bearing. And then you need the bearing carrier, which is what that is. Alright, that's what we need for this side. So you'll have to put your springs in. So what I'm using is two different springs to give it some really good pressure. So this one Alright, y'all, my other mic died, so I apologize. So I'm going to start it. I finished the first one. I'll tell you exactly how we finish it on this, but I'm going to tell you my spring. So this spring, I'm using two different springs, is an 8 by 24 or 25 with an inside spring of 5 by 25 as well. And I literally just do them just like this. So we'll set them in here because we're going to get this ready. Set, whoops. So, whoop, don't let it catch in there. You just want it to sit in there. Just like that. Take our 625ZZ bearing, set it in here. Let me unscrew this. You're going to use an M5 button head screw with a nylock nut. Screw this in on here. Whoa! Whoa, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna use I'm gonna use the socket. It's an 8mm socket, and we're gonna use our Allen key, the right one. And whoops, maybe. And we're gonna screw this down, not crazy because it needs to spin. You just want it to catch the nylon. It's gonna be bent in a little bit, but that isn't gonna hurt anything. That's actually a little tight, maybe. Let me loosen it up just a smidge. Yeah, you want it to spin just like that. So it's still in the nylon, but it's not so much in the nylon like it just was where it wasn't spinning freely. And now what you're going to do is you're going to get your M3 by 22s. You're going to take it just like this. Actually, I apologize. It goes like this, nut facing this side. You're going to take it, push it down, push your M3 by 22 screws through. Once you get one in, it's pretty safe, but you don't want it to sorry, I'm just double checking all the documentation. You don't want it to you know, let it go prematurely because it will shoot across your room. Thankfully I haven't had that happen, but I can tell you right now that's exactly what it's going to do, because it's going to fly. And what we're going to do is we're going to tighten this up. Whoops. We're not going to tighten this like crazy. What we're doing is we're tightening this up just to where enough where it catches the nylon in there. Just if I can get my wrench off. See, that's where it's not touching the plastic. It has some room so it can freely move, because whoops, see that? Move so freely it made the other one come out. Because if you do it too tight, what'll happen is it won't move freely, and your detents will be completely wrong, or they'll be super stiff to get into. You'll start breaking stuff because of how tight it is. So just enough in there, which I'm actually going to loosen this one up just a little bit. Just enough to catch that nylon in that nut so it moves nice and free. Make sure that moves just like that. And there you go. That's the detent system. It's the same for this with how I did it. I apologize, my mic died. But it's the same double spring system in here, and everything is the same. You want to make sure that it spins free. Your nuts aren't touching the plastic, which actually for this left one, I'll loosen that one up just a little bit. Keep it loose, because you want it to be able to freely move. So that way when you're moving your lever, you know, from idle, you want it to hit these detents and click into them appropriately, reverse idle, reverse max, all that stuff. So that's how that works. So that'll be it for this video. We finished up the levers. We got the detent system finished. And then what's going to come in the next video is the walls. We're going to start working on the walls. The walls are a lot, and they take a lot as well. And this video is already long enough just for these levers. So the wall video will be made tomorrow and uploaded tomorrow as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it helps you out. I'm going to order some M5 by M3, or M5 by M3 heat inserts as well, so I can go ahead and get these fixed and done appropriately. Thanks for watching.